Hello everyone, I'm so glad you're here. I am feeling all things fall this week with Thanksgiving right around the corner and the weather's turning. I just am feeling the fall vibes. So I'm going to be creating with the Gnomes for Autumn collection, and I do have some other process videos here on my channel featuring this paper collection. If you want to check those out, I will leave them listed in the description box below. But I have 3 photos. This is my son Hayden and his lovely girlfriend Desiree. You can see all the pumpkins and fall colors, so I thought these would go beautifully with these papers here, and these were actually taken last Thanksgiving. I thought this would be a great opportunity to incorporate the November stamp of the month. This is called Thanks a Bunch, and as you can see, it's very perfect for Thanksgiving, but this would be great for thank you cards and whatnot. But I want to use this one, Thankful, Grateful, Blessed, and I'm going to make this my title today, and I'll tell you more about this stamp as we go, because it's a really good opportunity. There is a good opportunity to get that stamp set for free. And this is a collaboration with all of my friends over at the Creative Design team, and we are bringing you ideas for our 6x8 sketchbook. This is volume 2. So last year was a huge hit and you guys were requesting more, so we have volume 2 here, and I'm going to be using a sketch to create a double page 6x8 layout for Desiree's photo album. Every Christmas I like to gift her albums, so if you're watching this, Desiree, act surprised when you get this layout. If you love 6x8 layouts, I shared my December daily. This is our volume 1 that we launched last year, and you can see we gave this one more of a Christmas presence, if you will, although you can use these for any 6x8 layout. Great for vacations or birthdays or fun little mini getaways, anything like that. But we wanted it to be more neutral, but the sketches, of course, would be great for a December daily. And I did share my December daily walkthrough, and all of these sketches showcase the awesome sketches in volume 1. So I will also have that in the description box below. For today's layouts, I am going to be using this particular sketch. All the sketches come with the measurements, and some, you could see that could be just a great single page layout or title page, but many of these sketches are designed to be double pages, so you can use them as doubles or singles. Let me go ahead and clear these out of the way here. If you are not a fan of 6x8 layouts, hang with me because I'm going to show you how this could easily be a 12x12 layout here in the end. So I have 2 sheets of almond cardstock. This is a retired cardstock from my stash. I've cut these to 6x8. I'm going to line them up on my VersaMat there. That'll just help me get things even across both sides. Now I am following this sketch pretty closely, so I've got this pattern paper here that's going to go across the center here, and this one, there's just going to be scraps or bits showing on the sides, so I just cut that to save some paper. And then I thought this one is so fun. And if you love gnomes, the other side of the paper, one side has gnomes and the other side is gnome free. So it's reversible. I know you either love gnomes or you don't like gnomes. So I think they're pretty cute, these little fall gnomes. But I am going to use this side of the paper, I think, and that's going to go like that. Now the sketch calls for a 4x4 photo. Mine, I didn't want to lose all of the pumpkins and the fall wreaths, so I kept it's not a true square, but we went as close to a square as possible. It's 4x5, and that way I kept the original composition of the photo. So that's going to go there, and then I have a couple 3x3 photos that are going to sit in this column here. Now I don't think that those are standing out super great against that background, so I'm going to bring in some Espresso cardstock and mat these, but it's still very subtle. So what I'm going to do, I normally print all my photos with a white border, and I didn't, and it's bothering me. So I'm going to fix that. I could mat it on some white, but what I'm going to do is actually just sand this photo, and it's okay. It's not going to hurt the end of the photo or edge of the photos. And we're just going to sand this here and reveal a little bit of a white edge, and it's going to make that photo pop, add a little bit of separation between it and the Espresso cardstock, and you're going to see this is going to make a big difference. I used to do this to my photos all the time. I just think it looks cool. It's a neat little look, but you know, if you mat them on white cardstock, then this wouldn't really, you wouldn't appreciate this detail as much. So let's see how this looks on there. There, do you see what a big difference that made, sanding the edges of the photo? It just really stands out compared to, I mean, this one's a little less obvious because the background's not brown, but yeah, I think that that looks really, really nice. So I'll go ahead and do this one really quick off camera. I do want to mention that these sketchbooks are a digital download. So I have mine bound at my local office supply store, which is Staples. You can go online, you just upload the PDF file, and then you can pick it up the same day, or you can even have it shipped to your house. So it's really nice to have. It has a protective cover on, and you get this little spiral, you know, bound book, and it just makes it really nice. I know that many of you who got last year's sketchbook printed the pages off and then put them into a 3-ring binder, which is a great way to do it. That's very a low cost. To have this bound at Staples, I want to say it was like, I don't remember exactly, between $25 and $30. So it is kind of, you know, pricey. You might find somewhere that will do it less expensive, but definitely printing them out, putting them in a binder is super economical, or you can even just leave them on your iPad or your desktop and leave them as a digital book and then not have to, you know, take up storage space. I love them because they're kind of a keepsake. You know, this is something my crafty friends and I have created, so I'm proud of it, and I love having this book. And plus, I think it's just really nice to be able to pull it out on your desk. And sketches are great for inspiration, and you can revisit them over and over again. You just switch up the photos, switch up the papers, and it's like a whole new layout every single time. You know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sketches are a great way to speed up your scrapbooking, and if you're stuck or just lacking some creative mojo, sketches can be very helpful in pulling you out of that rut too. So we're going to place these photos here. I'm going to bump these towards the top because on the sketch we do have some journaling strips on the bottom, so I am going to follow that design. Let me just get this out of the way here. Scoot this back in for those of you that really like things nice and tidy. I know there's those of you out there, you're like, oh, please center the layout in the screen. So this is, normally I use my sponge dauber tool, and I just want a little bit of color on the edge of these. So just dragging my ink pad across very carefully, and it'll just give a slight bit of this espresso ink to the edges of these papers. So on the sketch we have a square photo, which I mentioned mine's not square, and then we have some layering up here, a tag with some embellishments offset there, and then the title. So my title is going to be bigger because I want to use this thankful, grateful, blessed, but I think it's going to fit there nicely. So let's work on that for now. I am going to use my mini Misty and some white daisy. You don't have to have the Misty, but this is very helpful when lining up stamps. So this one here is actually 3 separate stamps, which I really appreciate because you can change the colors very easily without a bunch of masking. So let's start with the thankful, and I just want to make sure there's grid lines on the Misty door. So that looks pretty straight. We'll pick that up. And then for my colors, I think I'm going to go with espresso, honey butter, and pumpkin. These are all coordinating colors in this paper collection, so I can feel confident that those are going to blend beautifully. So for the top one here, you can do them all in one color, but I'm going to do them all in the 3 different colors. So that looks pretty good. I don't even need to re-ink it. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up and then put it back, and we'll switch it out to the next one here. So that was thankful, and then we're going to move to grateful. I think for grateful we'll go with pumpkin. So this one I just need to eyeball it, line it up there, make sure my margins are easy. I love that it has the little wave and fits together like a puzzle piece. I think that's so cute. So we'll just repeat the process, picking that up with the Misty door. We're going to go with pumpkin and stamp this one down, and then we'll use honey butter for the word blessed on the bottom. I mentioned earlier that you can get this stamp for free. So every month, Close to My Heart has a featured stamp of the month, and it's only available for that given month. So this is November stamp of the month. Once November's over, this stamp goes bye-bye. It won't be on the website any longer. If you spend $50 or more, then you can get this stamp set for $5. It is a $19.95 valued stamp, so $5 is a steal. But if you're a VIP, you can get this stamp for free with your $50 purchase. The VIP program is awesome because if you love Close to My Heart as much as I do, it gets you a 15% discount. So it's 15% back in Close to My Heart cash that you can save up or spend it on the very next order. It's like Kohl's Cash. Do you guys shop at Kohl's? You go in, you buy something, they give you that Kohl's Cash to use on a future order. So it's like Kohl's Cash for scrapbooking. Isn't that awesome? I do want to add there are no monthly minimums. You buy what you like when you like, so no worries there. And now I feel like a total infomercial. Let's get back to my layout because my title is all done and looking super good. These are the stitched fancy brackets, and I use them quite a bit in card making and scrapbooking. So I just like the detail, but maybe the smaller one will fit. Oh, that's going to fit perfectly. So I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. I'll be right back. Let's see how this turned out. I could use the other piece here, the other larger fancy bracket to make a mat, but I think that we don't quite have enough room on our layout to accommodate that. So let's just see how this looks. Yeah, I want some of this paper, and that would just make it even bigger. I don't want to cover up too much of the pumpkins and whatnot in the photo. So I think that's going to look good right there. Now I have lots of pumpkin themed stamps because I just love them for fall. This was Cozy Up from the Cozy Up card making stamp set. It is no longer available, but I am going to be using this today. And I was making a bunch of fall cards, so I have all of these little bits and pieces in here left over from those cards. And I think that I'm just going to use some of these. So let's see, I think that is this going to be too big? No, we might use a large pumpkin, and then there's the smaller pumpkins in here. So this is stamped on pumpkin or nectarine cardstock, and then this is shortbread cardstock. And actually, I think that's going to look pretty cute right there. I like it. So let me grab that sketch. So you can see they've got the embellishment cluster here. So that's where we're building our pumpkins. We're going to do something up there. And then on the opposite side, they have it on the outside, which is perfect because we talk about that visual triangle, and that is just bringing your eye right to the center where the photos are. So that's going to look really nice. I pulled out some more pieces from my little leftover card bits there. And we've got these sunflowers here. These are a print and cut image that I created on my Cricut because I was just making a lot of them to make some fall cards, so it was easier than stamping to just use the print and cut. But I want to use these up since I already went through the trouble of making them. So we'll just kind of roughly place these, and then we can rearrange them how we want. So we have a little embellishment cluster here. I'm going to go with this little shortbread pumpkin because the background is orange. So the orange pumpkin wouldn't really stand out. And then we can just tuck a few leaves in there. And then we'll add some leaves over here to this little sunflower. And then maybe this one here. This one I did without the white border. And I don't know, is that going to look funny to have white and white and then not on that one? I might want to add grab one with the white border around the sunflower just so it's consistent. But we'll just put that little guy there for now. We don't need to see Hayden's tennis shoe. We can cover that. That's okay. So this one, you don't need to have the exact same things in all of them. And in fact, I'm going to keep that just a sunflower. Now they do have the tag on the layout and then this little piece up here, and I do want some more layering. So I cut a tag in Espresso using the Tags and Tabs thin cuts. I just sanded the edge there to give it a little bit of character. So let's see how that looks underneath here. And they've got their straight up and down. You could put it at an angle, but we'll try that for now. And then we'll just kind of layer. So their tag goes behind the orange, or that center strip there. So let's try that. Let's stick with the sketch. I usually go rogue, but let's just go for it and see what happens. So we'll put our little leaves back. And then I was thinking about adding a little background stamping or a little stamping to the cardstock base here, just to add a little bit of interest. So I am liking the tag. I think that does look good. Kind of just adds a little detail, but let's bring in a paper layer like they have on the sketch. I have this piece of paper. It's actually a scrap left over from that collection, but let's see if that is going to work. I probably need to cut it down if I'm following the measurements exactly. But that's kind of fun. That adds a bright pop of color. They've rounded the corners, so you could do that. Why not? Let me grab my corner rounder. This punch from We Are Memory Keepers is kind of fun because it has different options. There's 3 different types of rounded corners there. I always find it easier just to put it in the bottom here and look at it. I just want, let's go with this medium corner. And then we'll do this side. The bottom side's going to be tucked in, so we just need to do the top. It kind of makes it look like a little file folder, which is always cute. We'll just add a little bit of ink to the bottom. Scrapbooks are a great gift for people, especially, I mean, I don't know, the older we get, I feel like it's harder to buy things for people because if they need something, they just go and buy it. At least that's how it is in my family. So scrapbooks is something that, you're sharing those memories. I do like the rounded corners. And the 6x8 is a great gift size. So I know a lot of you have shared that you have created Christmas albums over the years and done that in a smaller size to gift to your grandchildren and whatnot. And I think that's such a great idea. I think I am going to try a flower with the white down here just to see if the consistency looks a little bit better with the others, and it does. It was just a tiny detail, but I feel like it just matches the other ones better. I get asked all the time how long it takes me to create a layout, and it's so hard to answer that because it really truly varies. But in this case, this layout is just coming together so quickly because several reasons. I'm using a sketch, and I already had, my title idea. I kind of had some ideas in mind before I even started the layout. So I'm not, trying to take time to think of what I'm going to use. So the sketch, and then already kind of planning what I'm going to incorporate, and then having the embellishments already done. This has definitely, it almost feels like it's cheating. And, I did have to take the time to prep these at one point in time, even though I ended up not using them. I'm putting them to good use now, but it's definitely going very quickly. So I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to the back of this pumpkin on top here. And I'm going to grab my non-stick scissors. But yeah, it truly, if you count the planning time, I mean, sometimes I might think about a layout for a couple days before I start, creating. So it's really all over the place. I know I make it look so easy on camera because, you guys aren't seeing some of the preparation parts. A lot of that gets edited out of the videos just so they're a little bit more enjoyable to watch because we have other things to do in a day, right? We don't want to watch every little bit and process of creating a scrapbook layout. So that's going to go there, and then we'll just tuck this little leaf in here, kind of peeking out the side there, add a little greenery. I wanted a little something on the background, so I was thinking some of my background and texture stamps, just like some splatter stamps, but I was looking through my fall stamps, and there was this one here, A World with October. So this is from several years ago, but it says Pumpkin Kisses and Harvest Wishes. And I thought that might be really pretty just to have some writing up here, and it's going to fit perfectly. So I think that means it's meant to be, right? So I'm going to put my foam sheet underneath since I'm just stamping in a small area, this will suffice. If you are stamping in a larger area, flip your VersaMat over and use the backside. So we're going to use Espresso ink so it coordinates with that tag. And then moment of truth. You know what? If I mess this up, I can cut another little square of the almond cardstock and tuck it in there and no one will ever know. I am going to practice a few times first though. It's just a good way to make sure you're going to have success on your layout. So that is stamping nicely. We'll ink it up again. Make sure you don't have any ink on the edge of your block, and then I'm going to use that paper to line it up on the bottom there. Give it just a moment to soak in. And there we go. The sketch shows some journaling lines down on the bottom. So I usually let Desiree add her own journaling because this is her book after all. So I will just include the spots to add it. And sometimes I'll add the details, like, you know, I might change my mind and go back and type Thanksgiving Day 2022. But for now, I'm just going to add these and give her the option of adding the journaling. I always think burlap ribbon looks really nice on fall layouts, so I tied a tiny little bow and we're going to just put that on the top of the tag. I'm a little bit generous with the glue for bows because it does take a little bit to dry, but then it will adhere nicely. And I totally just dropped a little splotch there, but that's okay. It's going to be covered. So you just want to leave that until it's completely dry. I do have some stickers on the sticker sheet. I thought this little Hello Pumpkin might look really cute up here in the overlapping the photo a little bit. Let me see. I normally remove the adhesive off of them because I'm kind of a chicken, but you know what? I'm just going to go for it. We'll just tack it down to the outside, not the photo. It's cute. I like it. There's lots of open space up in that corner. There's also this tiny little heart, and I thought that might be good. We've got scarlet introduced in this paper over here, so I was going to grab this, a scrap of that, and add just a little banner, but I think this heart will do the trick. And it's always nice to use up your stickers too. That's cute. So I have followed this sketch very closely with the embellishment placement and the paper dimensions, and it turned out super cute. I love seeing how, you know, you take a sketch and you bring it to life with your photos and all the papers and embellishments. And how cute is that little title, Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. I love how that turned out. So I promised you I'd show you a card. This is the card I created, and I used the same colors, espresso, pumpkin, and honey butter, just like we did for the title. I used the larger of the stitched fancy bracket there and cut out a piece from espresso to mat that on, and then used a pumpkin and the sunflower in the corner. And you can see this paper, I had some more scraps, and then added a little mocha glitter paper just for some sparkle and shine. And I think that turned out really fun and perfect for a fall card. Now for my 12 by 12 scrapbook fans, I want to just show you, we're going to put down a piece of almond cardstock, which is the same as the background, just to kind of give you some design ideas. And let's pretend that I actually built this on the background, okay? So just pretend that that's one solid 12 by 12 piece. What you could do is easily run this column all the way to the top and bottom and add a third photo. So you can imagine what that might look like. Up here, you'd have room for a whole nother photo. So you could do something like that. You could also add some pattern paper. And again, we're just imagining that that's one solid piece there. And then you could add some cardstock to the top and bottom to fill out that space. You can see it kind of coming to life as a 12 by 12, or maybe even some different pattern papers. This one comes with that same fall collection. So I don't have a lot of green in here, but I think that this will give you an idea of what this would look like. So instead of that brown cardstock, you could have a different pattern paper peeking out the top, and I would repeat that on the bottom. I don't want to cut my paper just to show you, but I think you guys can get the idea of how this can easily translate into a 12 by 12 page. So I would definitely, if you had more photos, bump that column to where it runs the whole top, and then center your photos in between, and just some ideas to get more use out of your sketches. And it's so fun to either stretch the sketch or shrink it down and change it to different formats. Everything I used to create this layout can be found in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd give me a big thumbs up. Many of you watching my videos routinely are not subscribed, so I'd like to invite you to hit that subscribe button and even turn on the bell notifications so YouTube will let you know when I post a new video, and hopefully it will inspire you to get into your craft room and create something amazing. For still shots, you can head on over to my Instagram, Pinterest, or Facebook account. And don't forget to come back each day to check out the rest of the inspiring ideas from the creative design team. Check out their videos right here on the right. And for more 6x8 inspiration, check out the videos on the left. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon.